ABC News, New York. Tonight, President Nixon has ordered American B-52s into the bombing campaign over North Vietnam. The South Vietnamese say they've won 2 tank battles near Quang Tri, but they cannot get reinforcements to their troops at An Loc. In Utah, they've captured a man suspected of Friday's $500,000 hijacking. And in Augusta, Jack Nicklaus wins the Masters for the 4th time. I'll have details in just a moment.
I've just decided never to be embarrassed again. Not by perspiration odor, not by wetness. And here's my plan. Dial antiperspirant. Dial helps stop odor and controls wetness. 2 important things for you and for me. Helps stop odor and controls wetness. Now, when you decide never to be embarrassed again, try my plan. Dial antiperspirant.
Dodge knows it's not the deal that makes the car great. It's the car that makes the deal great. So we start with a great car, our lowest priced Charger hardtop. Then we add hidden headlights, special trim. And now we say, buy it this way, and your Dodge dealer can offer you this vinyl Landau roof at no extra charge. Charger topper, a great deal on a great car.
The American response to the North Vietnamese invasion of the South is still mostly in the air. The American command in Saigon says President Nixon has ordered that B-52s be used now to bomb North Vietnam. Up until now, the B-52s have been staying out of the North because the North Vietnamese are simply getting better in their use of anti-aircraft missiles. In fact, Hanoi says 3 B-52s have been shot down by their missiles this week, but the American command says that's not true. While the Americans are fighting in the air, the South Vietnamese are fighting on the ground. 20,000 South Vietnamese are still trying to reinforce their base at An Loc, but the North Vietnamese continue to block them. American B-52s are bombing An Loc, hoping to clear the way there for the South Vietnamese. The South Vietnamese have lost 2 bases near Da Nang, and that's the first time there's been fighting there since the invasion began. And in Quang Tri, the northernmost province of South Vietnam, where the fighting began, the Saigon troops say they've won 2 tank battles with the North Vietnamese. But the North Vietnamese have taken a part of Quang Tri province, and it's clear now that they caught Saigon by surprise. ABC's Andrew Pearson reports.
It's a new war now in South Vietnam. For the first time, the North has seized a part of the South and challenged Saigon to take it back. After a week of fighting, both sides still face each other across the Dong Ha River.
South Vietnamese commanders said they never expected this kind of attack by the North. Infantrymen supported by long-range artillery, tanks, anti-aircraft guns, and surface-to-air missiles. It's the kind of classical warfare that local guerrillas and North Vietnamese units in South Vietnam have avoided. The North Vietnamese have pushed their border south almost to the city of Quang Tri. Quang Tri is more military camp now than city. Most of its people have fled south, and refugees from farther north have stayed here. Quang Tri is set for a North Vietnamese attack. Tanks guard the approaches to the city along the only north-south highway. Highway 1 was built by the French when they colonized Indochina and leads all the way from Saigon to Hanoi. Schools are closed. An armored unit is positioned in the school courtyard. The classrooms are full of refugees. Reinforcements continue to arrive in Quang Tri, but the battle to regain the northern part of South Vietnam hasn't begun yet. The soldiers are in good spirits as they move toward the front, but other Vietnamese who have already seen death from the war up close are in mourning. All of this man's family was killed in a road mine explosion when they were trying to drive south to a safer place. I spoke recently to a captured communist and asked him how he thought the war could end. He said he thought the battles would continue until one side was too weak to fight on, and then a peace could be negotiated. Andrew Pearson, ABC News, Quang Tri.
General Creighton Abrams, the commander of the American forces in Vietnam, is quoted today in the Washington Post. Abrams says he thinks the North Vietnamese offensive will turn out to be a big mistake for Hanoi. A terrible, horrible thing, says Abrams, that will produce nothing but a lot of needless bloodletting. Abrams says the North Vietnamese are trying to destroy Saigon's army and that it will not work.
Lee Trevino discusses the drive.
For a great drive, you've got to be comfortable. And man, you got to have quiet. So what I do is plant my feet, extend my right hand, and open the door to my beautiful Dodge Monaco. Monaco's got unibody construction, torsion quite right, and that adds up to a ride as smooth and quiet as I'd ever want. So go tell your Dodge dealer that you want to drive the way Lee Trevino drives, in a beautiful Dodge Monaco.
This is one of the leading paper towels in the West. It's very absorbent, but it doesn't absorb as fast as Viva, and we're going to prove it with 2 glasses filled to the brim with water. Viva absorbs a lot faster. In fact, Viva absorbs faster than any of the other 3 leading brands in the West. And Viva is strong. How's that? Viva, it absorbs faster.
The FBI has arrested Richard McCoy in Provo, Utah, and they say he's suspected of being the man who hijacked a United Airlines jet on Friday, demanded and got $500,000 ransom, and then bailed out of the plane near Provo. They have not found the money. McCoy is 29 years old. We have a report with more details about the man and his arrest from Lucky Severson of KCPX in Salt Lake City.
FBI agents arrested Richard Floyd McCoy early this morning at his home in Provo. McCoy was dressed in his military fatigues preparing for a drill with his Utah National Guard unit, where he's a helicopter pilot. He was arraigned in Salt Lake on charges of air piracy and interfering with flight crew members. U.S. Magistrate A.M. Farrell ordered McCoy held without bail. McCoy is the father of 2 children, a mild-mannered-looking man. His mother says she's certain her son wouldn't do anything like that. She says he's always been devoted to his church. McCoy's wife was hysterical. All she would say is, "Don't kill him." McCoy has served 2 terms in Vietnam. He practices skydiving regularly at a South Salt Lake airport. The man who reportedly informed the FBI on McCoy is a close friend, Utah Highway Patrolman Robert Van Yperen. He says he heard McCoy discussing hijacking an airplane and had said he would ask for $500,000 if he did it. How well do you know McCoy?
I've known him for, I don't know, over a year now it was. Time passes fast. I've known him a year.
Do you think he could skyjack a plane?
No, I don't think he could. I mean, no. I don't think he'd want to skyjack a plane.
Did he talk about skyjacking a plane?
No, not really. I can't answer those questions. We talked many times. I talked to 1,000 people. That's one of the popular subjects today, isn't it? Skyjacking.
FBI agents still haven't recovered the money. A man who works with McCoy in the Army National Guard says McCoy has a locker at the Air National Guard terminal. He says that's one of the few places where FBI agents haven't searched for the missing $500,000. Lucky Severson, KCPX News, Salt Lake City.
Whenever there's a hijacking, and there are so many of them, one wonders if the airlines are doing anything to stop them. Well, the airlines and the airports are doing something. We have a report from ABC's Jules Bergman.
Airport security has improved. The question is by how much, and is total security against hijackers and bombers possible? Doors of parked jetliners are now closed whenever possible. Jetways are retracted when not actually needed to prevent access. And airline employees or crew members are now stationed aboard the planes during daytime hours as an extra safeguard. One of the problems has been getting ground crews on some lines to wear their identification badges. Some balk because at first they'd have had to pay for replacing the badges themselves if they lost them. Some are still balking, claiming uniformed pilots must wear badges if they're forced to. New York's Port Authority has reinforced its police guards with roving patrol cars. Under the new FAA rules, the 532 airline airports must do the best they can immediately, but have until June 8th to come up with a full plan that includes fencing all the perimeters of the airports and lighting all areas where planes are parked. Under a separate rule, the airlines had to put into effect immediate screening of passengers using electronic detection devices, guards, or both. Some carriers have gone all out. Others have dragged their feet. Extra protection costs more money. The carriers have to submit their new plans by May 8th. Many more doors leading down to the field are locked than ever before. One problem, emergency exit fire doors, still left unlocked by local regulations and leading right to the field. An answer might be to put audible alarm devices on the doors.
A hijacker demanding $500,000 and 4 parachutes was captured Sunday night at the San Diego International Airport by FBI agents. The man, identified as 31-year-old Stanley Harlan Speck, claimed he had a hand grenade. After the plane landed, the hijacker released all the passengers and demanded the money and maps to Miami, Florida. FBI agents left the maps on the staircase of the plane and he was seized as he tried to grab them. The 727 Pacific Southwest airliner was on a flight from Oakland to San Diego with 85 passengers and a crew of 7. Airline officials said the tall, husky hijacker went into a restroom at the rear of the plane. When he came out, he handed the stewardess a note stating his demands.
Mother always told me, sit up straight, eat all your vegetables, and stay out of small foreign cars. But Joey, Mother never told me about Ultra Bright.
We'll tell you. Ultra Bright has more whitener than any leading toothpaste, yet it's as safely gentle for teeth as the leading children's fluoride.
Mother had a feeling I might be too appealing, so Mother never told me about Ultra Bright.
Harry Wilson hates to shave. So one Saturday morning, Edna Wilson decided to do it for him. She chose Rapid Shave, a shave cream so rich, so thick, he'd probably never feel the razor. And in 40 strokes, she shaved him clean.
Oh, wow! How?
Rapid Shave, for a shave so comfortable, you'll hardly feel the razor. Regular, lime, menthol mint, and lubricating lather.
For the 4th time, 32-year-old Jack Nicklaus has captured the Masters Golf Championship at Augusta, Georgia. Nicklaus was the only player to break par in this year's tournament, shooting a 2-under 286. Early in the round, Japan's Takaki Kono provided the spectators with quite a thrill when he fired this iron shot over a water hazard right into the cup for an eagle. Nicklaus led the Masters from start to finish, but his accuracy was off for a while today, as was clear in this long putt on the 14th green. On the very next fairway, Jack's iron shot skimmed past the green and into the trees, and his 5-stroke lead dwindled. His problem's still not over. Trying to recover from his poor lie, Nicklaus sped the ball past the flag and almost into the water. But the rest of the field was having problems, too, and they weren't able to overtake Jack. He turned the tide his way again on the 17th with a putt that broke beautifully right into the cup. At the 18th, Tom Weiskopf had a chance to take over second place, but just missed and finished in a tie for second with Bobby Mitchell and Bruce Crampton. Leading by 3 strokes and with the outcome a foregone conclusion, Nicklaus putted out on the final hole to clinch his Masters victory. The first prize money of $25,000 made golf's golden boy the first ever to pass the $1.5 million mark in career earnings. So the news this Sunday night. I'm Bill Butel, ABC News, New York. Thank you very much and good night.
The ABC Weekend News with Bill Butel has been brought to you by Palmolive Rapid Shave, Menthol Mint, Juicy Lime, Morning Fresh Regular. Monday through Friday, watch the ABC Evening News with Howard K. Smith and Harry Reisner. This has been a presentation of ABC News.
Boxer Bobby Hunter trains for the Olympics within the walls of a prison. Great miler Jim Ryan talks about the problems and frustrations of his career with love story author Eric Siegel. Join them on Monday Night Sports, the Monday Night Special, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, here on ABC.